So I want to talk about this anime I've actually been enjoying so far this season. It is My Home Hero. And it basically asks the question, how far would you go to save your family? Because this anime is basically a family anime. This is basically in a way Taken, but just without, Liam Neeson going to like actually find his daughter. But this is like kind of in that type of realm of, I guess you'd say, genre of things. Because the MC, which is Tetsuro, who is basically his daughter, her name is Reika, and we basically find out that she's dating a very abusive person that's like a gangster type of person in a way, because the way he acts and the way he hangs out and like all of the things that he does, because like he basically finds out that his daughter's getting beat on, and we see that early on that she's getting beat on because she has marks all over her face and she's acting like it's okay and all that. But just know, when I say how far would you go to save your family, Tetsuro is gonna do some stuff, because he finds himself into like a lot of interesting situations. Because like early on, when he goes to tell the boy, basically her boyfriend, he basically gets like grabbed by this guy and basically gets stripped down, and they take pictures of him. So like you can already tell that the boyfriend of Reika is already somebody that's into like basically crime, and he's up to no good. And this is where something happens, and then this is when like the anime starts to get really interesting. Is like he's basically at his like daughter's apartment, and Nobu's up in there, and like basically he calls like Reika's, like Nobu's phone off of Reika's phone, whatever. And just know he's gonna grab, like, I think it was a rice cooker. He grabs that and he basically kills Nobu with it, and then he proceeds to basically chop up the body, put him inside like I think he was in a bathtub first, but like just know they're basically gonna chop up his body, clean the bathtub and all these other things. Eventually he's gonna get his wife along. And it's kind of crazy that him and his wife came up with this plan. It's kind of nuts, because trust me, their plan is very detailed, because he was researching a lot of stuff. Because at first the body's chilling in Reika's bathtub, and then they have to get the smell out of there, and then eventually they're going to boil like part of his body, and then they bury basically all his skin and all his other stuff in dirt. And then they also have his bones. So it's like, it's kind of nuts the way they actually were thinking about this in detail. And it just had you questioning, like, how did they know this? Especially his wife. His wife early on was like very mysterious, and it seemed like she had something like going on, and like she knew some stuff, or she had some like hidden past. And especially because in the anime, when it talks about Nobu, like it talks about the only reason he was with Reika is because like her grandfather or something and wanted the inheritance. But we have not heard anything else about that. So I don't know exactly, like, is there really something there? And the other thing about Reika is Reika's a dumb bitch. I'm sorry. She is very dumb. Because the Nobu guy, one, he was beating her. But at the same time, Reika was just one of his side pieces. Because he had a main squeeze that worked in like basically a nightlife type of club, a gentleman's club in a way you could say. And like she was there, and we learned about how her and Nobu were actually like really tight, and how he even talked shit about Reika when he would be hanging out with her. And it's just crazy that like she really thought this guy was her boyfriend, and was like, no dog, he was using your ass. You were just a side piece. His real main squeeze was out there that he was actually loving, even though he was cheating on her too. Yeah, he was basically a person that he ain't shit. But at the same time, you realize that there are people that are actually, looking for him. But it's mainly because the leader of like their whole group, Nobu, was his son, and that's why everybody's looking for him and all this, and there's all this big investigation and all that, and why stuff is getting pinned on basically the main character, the dad, is because he was the last person seen there. So it's just interesting seeing him getting put in all these situations and how he weasels his way out. And basically in the most recent episode, they're trying to frame this one guy that's been working with the dad, because like they're trying to frame him because like he's also like the reason why the dad is got beat on and all these other things. So I don't know, I just been enjoying it so far, because it really is just like, how far would you go to save your family? And I mean, he went super far. He even murdered the boyfriend, and now it's like they're in deep, like they're in way too deep. And I'm curious just to see like how they're gonna try and get out of this, because I don't think they're gonna get out of this. I think even when they set up Cuz, I don't think they're even get out of it at all, because like they're trying to set him up, but at the same time there's like little ways where I think it won't work out, but at the same time it could work out, because the dude they're trying to set up, he was the last one that was also in the apartment where Nobu was seen. So I mean, there's a lot of like interesting things that could go in some type of way. But yeah, if you've been watching My Home Hero, let me know how you feel about this one. If you've not been watching, please check it out. It's a pretty cool thriller type of mystery type of thing, because there's still a lot of mystery there surrounded by certain reasons and like other things that we need to know about Nobu, even his father and all these other things. But I don't know, I've been enjoying it so far each week that it comes out, and it's been really good. But it's really crazy that he really took out the boyfriend. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the boyfriend did deserve it, because the boyfriend was actually horrible person. He was a horrible person. Man had a girlfriend and talked about how he loved her, but would proceed to cheat on her. And then man has multiple different girlfriends, even the Reika girl he would beat on, which is nuts. And it's like, it takes Reika so long to realize, like, oh, I see my family's protecting me. But at the same time, she's very dumb because the one guy they're trying to set up, he's trying to talk to Reika right now that he can basically get some information out of Reika to find out if the parents are lying and other things like that. But I don't know. We'll see where it goes next episode because it looked like it could get spicy because we'll just say the dad might have ran into somebody he was not supposed to run into, and it's going to be fascinating what happens. But we'll see, though. But I've been enjoying this one. This has been one of the more interesting ones that I've been enjoying this week, and I've been enjoying each episode. But I really like the mystery aspect, but there's still a lot of other things that I want to learn about this series and see where it's going to go. I did see somebody talk about, like, how the anime skipped a few chapters or something, but I'm looking at the way the story's playing out in the anime. I'm like, them chapters must have not been that important because the way the story is still playing out in the anime, it's, in my opinion, it's still flowing, like, really well, and, like, we've still seen a lot of stuff. But I don't know. That's just me, though. I've been enjoying it, though. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, now like. If you didn't, you could dislike, subscribe. You really enjoyed. But yeah, My Home Hero's been pretty dope, but it really is just crazy and wild just to think, like, they really took him out, and the way they executed the plan, from putting skin and bones and hair and all that in the pot and letting it decompose, to, like, actually having his bones and all this other, is nuts. Because I'm like, dog, yeah, you were kind of, like, the dad is kind of crazy, but the mom might just be as crazy, because they're doing all these other things, from making fake videos, to, like, basically trying to hack into people's computers, basically having phone calls, and just, like, listening on all this other stuff that's happening. Yeah, they're actually, like, really smart with what they're doing, and I'm curious to see, like, when they finally get caught, or if they don't ever get caught, or if they actually are going to pin all this on that one guy. It's going to be fascinating where this goes, but I've really been enjoying this one, though. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video, though. Bye.